Hello, I'm Robert, and you're always welcome here in my busy little shop. On today's episode of What's on My Workbench, I have a new piece of equipment to test. And I know I've been on a run of those. Well, here's one more for you. This particular segment of our hobby, I have had people reach out a few times, and continually I would just delete and delete and delete. And I got thinking about it. It could be a handy tool. It's way outside of my comfort zone. The hobby that we are all engaged in is, a hands-on, heavy, I guess, area of art. The sewing machine is pretty high tech for us, and sewing machines have been around for a long time. This piece of equipment here isn't brand new, but it's becoming really popular in the leathercraft world. I know, bunch of a ramp up here. I'll tell you what, we'll get over here and I'll talk a little bit about the decision to test this piece of equipment. I have had multiple companies ask me if I wanted to test equipment in this range, and I'd said no repeatedly, but I thought, you know what, it's probably of interest to people out there. It's an entry-level price. I don't know. Let's get over here and take a look at it. Appreciate you spending time with me in the shop. We're going to play with this piece of equipment and see what we can figure out. Well, the secret is out. You can see I have a laser. This is a 12 watt Wizmaker Wand series laser. And I was really, as I said in the beginning, hesitant to take a look at such an item because, this is an area I work with my hands for a reason. I like that, and I think that's good. This is electronics. This was free, but then I need software to run it, which the software is not going to be free. And I downloaded the trial on Lightburn software here. So if you've got an idea on maybe a better software, or if you've got any tips and tricks on that, the one thing that I would say is there is quite a bit of information here on the setup of the laser and how to use it. But I ran into some communication problems between the computer and the laser, and part of it's probably just, showing my abilities. But I did have a younger generation come and help me try to figure it out, and some of the challenges we had, we couldn't figure out together. But I've gotten past that. So I guess I would say that if you're looking at a laser, we can talk about it on the other end, about things maybe, is it inside your comfort zone? So it's a very basic laser. It's not in a cabinet. There's no management of fumes off of this, so that would be a first concern for a lot of people. I'm set up here in the garage by the open garage door here, and I've got a fan over here that's going to carry the smoke and fumes away. I've looked at a couple of cabinets that have a hood that come over it that vacuum the fumes away and filter it, which, this is $200 roughly. That cabinet's $600-700. So once again, free's not always free, and it comes with a certain level of frustration. This was a little bit frustrating to get going. I think I've got it working today. We'll see how that works. But the first thing I did was I created a little bit of a part of my logo here. Well, actually, I didn't create it. I downloaded it. This was a proof that my tool maker, Steel Stamps Inc., they sent me the proof. This is one of my stamps here, and I thought, let's see if we can burn it in here. I've got a small piece of plywood here. I didn't use this to cut it out. If you're wondering, it will cut. It says it'll cut leather and it'll cut wood up to about 1/4 of an inch. I don't know how efficient it would cut wood. But let's jump in here and see. So I downloaded the software. It took me some time to figure out how to run it. The first thing I want to do is I want to see if I have this sized about right for here. And so I'm going to hit frame, and it will outline the working area where it's going to be. The one thing I would say is if you're going to make something like this and you're going to do it repeated, I think if you make a template so that you get it placed exactly where it goes, that might be somewhat helpful. The other thing, obviously, is you can put a box around this that it also marks, so that then you could cut on that box if it was like, say, leather. So let's just first test this and see how this works. They sent eye protection, obviously, so I'll be using eye protection here. And when I get it running, I'll probably just move back a little bit here so that the smoke gets away from me, because it will smoke since we're cutting into some plywood here. And this is fairly thin. I would say it's 1/8 of an inch thick plywood. So we can frame it so we can see where it is inside of. And the laser comes out in the center of this box. So I would think that if I outline this, or if this frames and stays kind of the same reveal around that plywood, then my design should be pretty well centered. It looks like I'm maybe a little out of square there. I think that'll work. So I will don my safety gear here, my eyes. Say one thing really quick. To get the proper distance set here for the laser from there, it has a thumb screw here that allows you to lock this laser in. So if I had, say, an inch thick board underneath what I was working on here, then it allows you to get the proper distance. And the way to set it is you would raise this up here. There's a thumb screw here, but to get the distance set, there's a little guide here on the side, and you turn it. It's a little cam, and now it's setting up, I would say, about 1/8 of an inch off the surface. Set the thumb screw, take the cam away. I'm going to frame it one more time. And I'm going to look at the power that I'm running, and I'm running at 20% and 6,000 millimeters. I think that's a minute. Let's start it and see what happens. And it's working. And I can see right now it's a little bit light. So since this is a test, I'm going to hit stop. So it's kind of light. Let me do this. I'm going to start over. I reset it. I set it to 40%. I've got another little piece of some plywood here. I'm going to relocate this to this upper corner here. And we're going to frame it again. Turn it a little bit. All right, let's go again. We have it set now at 40% power. You can also slow it down, the speed that it moves, and it spends more time in one area. That increases the power that's being used in one spot, if that makes sense. And it gave me a warning saying that the image may not be totally inside of it, and it has to do with how the image is created here. And we're moving along here pretty good. Okay. There we go. So now you can see how it's laid out there. And if I wanted, I could drop a box around it here and mark that. Matter of fact, let me do that. I should have done that before I removed it from there. And I'm going to do two things. I'm going to increase the size of here. And I want to draw a box around it. Say I was going to make a square coaster. Let me frame it here to make sure that, because I did increase it, I don't want it off of it. me move up just a little bit there. Now let's frame it again. Okay. This scorching here will all sand off on this wood. Now, am I going to use this on wood? I don't know. I could make some signs and such, but I'm more interested in its application on leather. So let's now take and put this underneath here. And one of the things I see is, you know, leather isn't always flat. So that's going to be something to take into consideration. Let me, I'm going to see if I can get in here without bumping you. Now let me resize this. Okay, so I changed the size of it. I moved the line to 100%, and I want to see how much of this leather, and we'll measure the thickness here in a little bit and see what the thickness is. It's like 7-ounce leather. And the image is at 40% power, and the line is at 100% power. Frame it one more time. All right, let's run it. I won't make you wait for all this. I'll speed this way up. We'll do it in like 10 seconds. All right, sorry about the leaf blower noise in the background here. So that finished, and what I'm going to do is I can go in the software, and there's an output, and I'm going to turn it off on the center, and because I want to see if I can cut through this leather here, and I'm at 100%, and I'm going to have it run 2 more passes around there at 100%. Not there yet. Nope. It's almost all the way through. I can finish that up with a knife here. Let's leave this for a second. We'll go over to the workbench and let's talk a little bit about this experience. I'll just cut this out with my knife. I think I was close enough that if I had ran that program one more time around the outside, it would have gotten there. And you saw there's some smoke stains on there, and I've played with this a little bit, enough to know that most of that wipes off. And I had someone suggest, I think they call them magic erasers. It's I think it's made by 3M, and it's used for cleaning walls. And it's a light abrasive pad that it would clean it off fine. So here we are. Let me grab, I've got a towel down here. Let me just wipe this. Well, here, I went ahead and finished cutting it out with the knife. It would have, you can see I was a little over halfway through there. You can see with the dark brown on the edge. And you have to know whether you're comfortable with that dark line on there. In some ways, it looks like you edge coated that, in a brown. So in some ways, that wouldn't be bad. I could have set it to do radiuses on the corner pretty easily as well. The whole process has been kind of interesting. Some ways it's frustrating because I'm not a computer guy. I used to be able to figure that stuff out. And when I say used to be able to figure it out, I used to be willing to spend the time to do that. If you're not willing to fiddle with electronics, software, hardware, and figure out how to make things work, then a laser may not be for you. The communication on it, getting it set up was the hardest thing. And I'm not sure what I was doing wrong. I fiddled with it for a while and then it came online. I'm not sure if there's something glitchy about it or if it's me. It's probably me. But here's that example that we made there. Here's another one. I played with it the other day, and in the software, I created this to make it look like my logo. Here's the other one here. My wife had hand drawn this one, and I tried to replicate it as close as I could here. So it's pretty close, and it didn't take very long to burn that out. Where could I use this? I suppose that I could make journals and customize them with logos and such that it may be a different feel tool. You can definitely take stuff like this and tool it, but a lot of times someone wants like a cleaner image. Last fall, I had a gentleman reach out to me and they wanted like 12 journals with their business logo in the bottom corner of it. And the only way I could do that was to either create the logo with a stamp, you know, like my maker's mark. I could have done that, pay for the design and to make the stamp. You can make those out of less expensive stuff than the steel ones I get from Steel Stamps Inks. So that would be another one. You could find someone with a laser to do that. And in the end, I had someone that was willing to do the laser work for me, and they were doing it at a reasonable cost. And I'm not sure if it was the cost of it, you know, because I was needing to get someone else involved in it, or if they just thought it would be, you know, $10 a piece for journals, but, you know, they weren't. So that would be one area that you could use. I had another person send me some pictures of work that they did where they created a sheath, and then they were able to pretty quickly customize it for the different people. It was for a large group, like 20 people, had 20 names, and he was able to go in and put in their name and customize each sheath with their name on it. So there's lots of options there. Is this leathercraft, or is this arts and craft, or is this laser craft? I don't know what you want to call it, but I thought I would bring it along because I figured there were people out there that were interested in knowing what this was like. And like I said, it was a little bit frustrating for me to get it set up, but that's probably me. If you are at all, you know, comfortable with those kind of programs, then, you know, it works fine. The light burn, I've kind of stumbled along and found out how to create some different patterns and designs in there and how to edit it. I'm sure that I could probably spend just as much time on the laser side. There's a whole world there, but that takes me away from the leathercraft. So I'm not sure how in depth I'll go into that area. I even toyed with the idea, do I start a different YouTube channel for the laser work? But I don't think so. I'll probably kind of be a little bit limited on how much I show it. But that is the Wizmaker Wand laser, 12-watt laser. Is it a must-have? No. Is it something that you can get into, you know, for a fairly low cost and play with and figure out how to run it? Probably so. I think we've kicked it around enough. I appreciate you spending time with me in the shop. Please like, share, and subscribe. But more importantly, hope you have a great day.